welcome to the Nightcap with TLJ. Real talk, real people about real life all the time. Tonight is GirlTalk. I have my beautiful guest here, Miss Stephanie Torrance.
Hello.
And Miss Yamina. She only needs one name because she is just powerful.
Thank you.
Two blessed women. I'm glad you guys came. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having
I
me.
appreciate you guys coming, but we're going to jump right into this. So, I have a couple of questions that I received from my social media to ask the ladies. So let me get to it. All right, so we're going to ask, can a woman's independence be a turnoff or scare a man away?
I would say absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because a lot of men want to feel like they're either in control or they're able to provide in some way, even if they're not able to provide on that level or the caliber in which that woman wants. But oftentimes it's kind of like a rejection.
Yeah.
Right. You know, or she seems inaccessible to the man.
To him. Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree. Inaccessible is a great word to use. I've heard that before. I had an issue with independence, being that independent woman for a very long time. And I found that going back talking to people, guys that wanted to quote unquote date me then, they thought I was too independent. I didn't need them. So I think it can.
I was raised to be independent.
Yeah, and that's what,
I mean, so if I'm raised to be, even though both of my parents were in the household,
you were
married
raised
42 years, I was raised to be an independent woman. No need to depend on a man.
Right.
So when you say you had a problem with independence, it's just how we were raised.
Right.
Right. And that can be a turn off for some men because they're like, hey, you know.
I think our problem as women is that we take our independence and instead of using it in that power in a good way, we sometimes use it in the bad way. You know what I'm saying? Good witch, bad witch, because we tend to make independence mean that you're not the man that you should be.
And I really think I think it may be the woman and that man. Because not all relationships are like that.
That's true. That's true.
I mean,
that's true. Because some men love truly independent women, and I agree. But I think that our independence, we have to separate that from allowing ourselves to not let the man still be the man. Just because I can take care of my business doesn't mean that I cut you short when you're trying to take care of some business for me.
And I had to learn that as well.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We have to. We say we want this type of man to do all these things, but when he comes in to do those things, we're so independent. Oh, you don't have to worry about that. I got that. But he's not worrying about it. He's doing his job. So sometimes we need to let them do their job, even as
one of the things that I found that with independence, we use it as a coping mechanism, and that's where the de-edification of the man comes in. So whether we've been hurt in the past or whatever has happened, then we say, well, I can do it myself. When we are making this individual pay for things that other people have done. And so our independence is really a coping mechanism, and then he becomes de-edified and not feeling good, when really we need to, as women, learn how to, number one, heal, and number two, that the independence is really empowering on so many levels, and you can use your independence to empower and re-edify your partner.
Absolutely. I agree. I think that whole healing part is a big problem in it. No matter what relationship you are, even male or female, no matter if you're the man or the woman, if you don't heal properly and you go into the next relationship, you're going to mess it up because you're still messed up. You still have that pain and it's blaring.
That baggage.
Absolutely, baggage is a big problem. We carry baggage from relationship to relationship, and not just man and woman relationship. Family relationships, jobs. You have a bad experience at work. Now you mad at everybody.
Exactly.
The whole job. The hell with it. You know what I'm saying? And it does. It does. And I think as women we internalize so much.
It's true. Very true.
So much. All right. So we're gonna jump into the next question. What does a man think if a woman stays in a relationship after he cheats and she's aware of it? Do you think that, and not just a man, in any relationship? Let's make it broader. Whether it be the man, the woman, no matter what relationship you're in. If you allow or if you accept or take them back a number of times after cheating, what do you think they think of you?
That's a good question because I can't say what does he think of me. I mean, is it an acceptance or okay? there was a problem. You stepped out. We're going to work through this.
Well,
the
question means the question implies it was a number of times.
Oh, if it's a number of times, it wouldn't have got that far. I might let you do one. It wouldn't have got that one.
I hear you.
Okay. We'll work through it.
Right.
After that, no. And it's so funny. I was watching something on Facebook not too long ago. The gospel singer, Mary.
Yes.
And she was expressing how many times do I have to forgive you? And she was just expressing her anger, time and time again. How, do you really expect me? And I'm supposed to be the woman of God, and I'm supposed to forgive and forgive and forgive. But how many times does one supposed to forgive?
Now, you know what? That's true. But do we get forgiveness confused with, not confused with, forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean we have to
accept it.
Can still be with that person. You can forgive somebody for what they've done to you, but that doesn't mean that you still have to be
remain
with
in
that
relationship.
Right. I forgive you, but I'm good on you.
I'm moving on.
Right.
Yep.
So I think once you forgive and you continuously stay, then that has nothing to do with the forgiveness. That has something to do with you.
And I think number one, it's great that your viewers are, opening up and wanting to be more transparent and ask these questions because they know that how you can flesh it out.
Right.
But I think that when you're welcome. I think that what's beautiful about this, when you forgive someone and they continue this behavior, you become an enabler.
Yes.
And that's what they become comfortable with you doing that. And then that becomes the normalcy.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you begin to function in a state of dysfunction that will really affect your entire life.
Absolutely.
And
so you said that.
Yeah.
Because I was raised in that type of household.
Okay. Yeah.
My mother was an enabler.
Yeah.
Not that my father cheated, but he had an addiction problem.
Right.
And she continued and continued. And
it's the same. I was just going to relate it back to that.
Thing. Enabler. So I can say in some of my relationships, I have a lot of men to do certain things and accept them. I forgive them, but I stay because that's what I saw in my household.
Right.
And then it got to a point I said,
generational.
Hey, that's not the type of relationship. When I start to look at and evaluate my parents' relationship, that's not the type of relationship that I want.
And that's the key.
And so, when you say the enabler, I was like, yeah, you're right. We become enablers, and some of us are raised in that type of situation.
Well, the fact that you saw that and you stopped it, that's where you break the cycles.
Yes, absolutely.
We all see a number of things in relationships when we were younger, whether it be our parents or whether it be other people that we, that were predominantly in our lives. We see those things and we think that's the way it's supposed to be. But at what point in our lives do we decide that right is right, wrong is wrong, and that's not what I want, and to make that change?
And I think too, when you really, really think about that, sometimes the men want us to say no. And they want us to hold them accountable.
Yeah.
And because oftentimes that helps them to become a better man. And earlier we were talking about edifying and building them up to say, I love you, but you hurt me. I need you to be accountable. Absolutely. Don't do it again. We need to separate. I need to get out of this dysfunction until you become the man you need to be and be responsible.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. So and that's taking our own responsibility as well.
Absolutely.
Because we have to be responsible about what relationships, what things we sit in. I was listening to Kelly Rowland's song, Dirty Laundry. Have you ever listened to that?
Yes.
Have you? Amazing song.
Absolutely.
She don't get enough props for that song. That song is amazing because it's real. You know what I'm saying? It's real life. She digs deep and she keeps it real. And if we all did that, let's do this dirty laundry and then be done with it and move forward.
Let's put our cards on the table.
Absolutely. All right, so we'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the Nightcap with TLJ. Again, my guest Stephanie and Yamina. We're going to jump right back in, ladies. I want to ask the question, what does a woman need, what as you as a woman need to bring to the table? I think a lot of time we as women, we forget to worry about our part of the deal. We're so worried about what they're not doing. And I want us to answer that question honestly. What should we bring to the table when we expect so much?
Guess I never really thought about it.
And most of us don't. Exactly.
What? I always want him to bring half.
Right. But am I really bringing my half? Right. That's the question. Are we really bringing our half?
Well, I love, Tracy, how you are able to just create these spaces and these conversations.
Yeah.
She just brings it on you. I got my food and my water, and so I think oftentimes the reason why we don't ever think about what we're bringing to the table is because we already assume that we're that deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
We already assume that we are the full package and that we do all of that. And that, like, okay, well, we are here. We got it going on already.
Exactly.
But really, I think what we don't do enough as when we do not examine ourselves enough.
There we go.
We do not evaluate, assess, and take an appraisal of ourselves.
And there you go, appraisal. I love that word, but that's real.
True.
That's part of the reason why I wanted to do a show. That's part of the reason why I like to talk to people, because I feel like we have to learn how to examine ourselves. Let's look in that mirror and let's be real. That's why real people, real conversations, anywhere about real life.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's exactly what my show encompasses. That's what I want everybody to get from it. If I'm talking about sports or relationships, it's going to be real conversation, and we have to learn to look at ourselves. And as you said, we as women, we already think that we're that deal.
Absolutely.
Where is the appraisal at? Do we do self-appraisals? I don't think we do.
No, not enough. What we do is we look in the mirror, we'll fix ourselves, we'll get dressed, and then we will present ourselves. However, we have become so comfortable, I do believe actually, where we will look in the mirror and there are pieces that are like kind of falling out, and we'll tuck them in, and we just will walk in. We will leave the house in our heels or whatnot, and we will be in pieces. I think sometimes that we need to come up with life plans. We need to look at what is our healing like.
Yes.
Or are we taking broken pieces to the table?
Right.
What about baggage?
Baggage is everything.
And I had to just drag it to the table.
Exactly. And there's so much of it I'm going to break the table. Like,
exactly.
on my website, the Nightcap with TLJ.com, I have in my Let's Talk About It, I just put it up. It's called Baggage. It's about how we, and I can speak as women, carry so much baggage, and we don't realize that if you're carrying all this baggage, your arms cannot be open to anything. You can't be truly happy. You don't have any inner peace if you're carrying all this baggage, because it's heavy. If you're carrying baggage, as anybody knows, you're running through the airport, you have 4 bags, the baby on this hip.
Exactly.
You're sweating, you're tired, and you're not happy. That's how it is in life. That same baggage, that same suitcase has all the emotional baggage from you. Whether it's your father wasn't there for you when you was little, whether it's that you were in a relationship and he cheated on you and treated you all kind of ways. We carry that from person to person, and when we go to that one that's the good guy, or that's the right woman for you, we don't treat them right.
Exactly.
We don't know how, because we have so much baggage in our hands. We haven't even learned how to be free.
Exactly. And I think when you talk about baggage and examine ourselves, I think my current relationship, before I even got into it, I had to I want to make sure before I go into this relationship with this man that I don't take over that baggage from that previous relationship.
Absolutely.
I'm going to treat him a little bit better than I treated the last man. And then I'm going to make sure that I'm not as mean and evil, because I can be.
Oh, absolutely. I've been there, done that.
I will communicate more, because I'm not a good communicator. So I had to reexamine, things that I did in that last relationship that ended horribly, that I didn't take it into the, like you said, to that good man. And I know he was a deserving man, because he showed me in so many different ways. So I said, okay, Stephanie, what did you or did not do in this previous relationship? Because this one here is showing you he is the one. Hey, I got your back, regardless.
The fact that you looked in that mirror and saw.
Absolutely.
People don't, we look in mirrors and we always see is this. We don't look any deeper. And if you just stand in that mirror long enough, you see absolutely everything about you. The good, the bad, and the ugly. You see what you need to change. You see what you need to keep. And you see what you need to brush up on.
Absolutely. Period.
But we don't look at that. And we shut it down. And the fact that you did that. And
had to.
But that's inner healing. So many women need that. I needed that. I went through the same thing. I was mean. I was taking this to that. Yeah, I wasn't taking anything, but I consider that independent, as we was talking about.
Right, exactly.
But it's a difference between independence and being mean. It is, and we
Mm-hmm.
as women need to learn how to be honest about conversation like that. How many women you know would really have said that to me?
Exactly.
Have had this conversation that's open. So I appreciate you saying that, and hopefully somebody out there who's listening to it, who's going through the same thing, knows that this can be done. And happiness can be found if you're truly happy.
That's true.
Really be found.
It can be. It can be. And when you look at things from we have the intellectual perspective, the emotional perspective, but for someone who's like sitting taking notes and they're saying, okay, I have those things covered, what do we need to bring to the table? Because we require so much.
Right.
And I believe that when we look at everything, let's look at being that whole person. Not just doing things a little bit better, doing them better. And really, okay, so let's get to it. What do your finances look like? Are you together?
Absolutely.
What does your health look like? So are you either working out, eating right, so that when you get with that man, that you don't have to put that on him, that baby, I gained weight, that you love me like this. He's like, I just bet you. You know, but
that's that life plan.
It is that life plan.
And you have to make life plans as couples too.
You do.
Like you said, if let's talk about
It's
the
a
finances.
marriage is a corporation.
And yes, and you have to run it right, and it's a corporation with love. That's
right.
And you have to, and that should be the best of the best.
Absolutely.
Because if you add that love to it, and you make sure you're running it the correct, absolutely, you have to do that. You have to be honest, because if you're lacking, then let's make a plan so that we can get us together.
Exactly.
Right, let's make a plan.
Be more of that. And
absolutely.
Then even before you get to that commitment level, it's you want to be sure that the person that you're in covenant with, that you are in a contract with, because that's actually what it is.
Absolutely.
That they're bringing that to the table. But what do your finances look like? Are you ambitious? Will you bore me to death?
Exactly.
Will you know?
Right.
Will you have the capacity to make me happy and bring me joy?
Right.
Look at all of those things outside of the exterior.
Yeah.
And then I believe that as women, if we begin to look at that more, we will really get to the heart of some issues.
Absolutely.
And those things.
Because it's
and
honesty.
It is. It's honesty.
Honesty. You know, that's what I feel that the world is lacking. Authenticity, honesty.
Absolutely.
You know, everything. It's okay to be fake. It's okay to lie. It's okay to play game. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you guys a quick question. What would be some advice? Quick answer that you would give the 14-year-old you. Go.
Quick. Don't follow in your parents' footsteps.
Love yourself.
Love yourself. That would be. I would say that too. I would say mine would be focus. Focus on the right things and not the wrong things. We'll be right back after this.